Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So let's talk about AMD's Fidelity FX Super Resolution 4 or FSR4 for short, as most people call it. So this video I would like to divide into two parts. First one is going to be all about things we already know about this technology, about FSR4, and the second part is going to be more speculative in terms of we'll be talking about when is it coming, what hardware is it coming for, is it going to be available on Xbox, for example, so that kind of thing. So let's focus on what we know for sure. So first off, a couple of weeks ago, one of the AMD's executives in an interview did confirm that AMD's Fidelity FX Super Resolution 4 is coming and it's going to be AI based, right? So he did confirm that they are already working on it, that they've been working on this technology for around like 9 to 12 months, he said. So looks like it's been a while since they started work on it. That's good news. So we know that it's coming. Now, obviously, the question is when, so we'll talk about that in a minute. We know it's going to be AI based. In an interview, he's spoken about frame generation also. So, but I would imagine that, as with FSR 1, 2, and 3, this new technology is going to tackle image reconstruction as well. I mean, that's the, I guess, main point really. If you look at what DLSS offers or what Intel's technology offers, it's image quality first and frame generation later, I would say, right? But so it looks like FSR4 will offer both, just like FSR 3 and 3.1. Right, it offers both. So that's what we know. That's pretty much what we know. We know that it's coming to next-gen tech. He's spoken about use in handhelds. I don't really know why he focused on that, but I mean, I can guess because AMD is going to be one of the I don't know if the biggest provider, but one of the bigger providers of the mobile chips for devices like ROG Ally and these kind of like a PC-like handhelds for gaming. So these chips are pretty powerful and APUs actually, and obviously the next generation of these APUs is coming pretty soon. So that's why I guess that's why he focused on that. But it's you can assume that it's going to be available on desktop computers, and who knows, maybe consoles. So that's all we know for sure. Right now, let's speculate a little bit and let's address the elephant in the room. Is that technology going to be available on consoles? Well, that's a good question, right? I mean, first off, there's been some speculation suggesting that PlayStation 5 Pro's PSSR technology, so AI-based image reconstruction technology, is based on AMD's work. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've seen some articles from Sony's tech people. I'm talking about employees saying that, well, they created it themselves, maybe, but at the end of the day, there must have been some sort of cooperation with AMD to offer like hardware acceleration for it, right? So who knows? Even though this is their technology, as in PlayStation technology, parts of it probably comes, from cooperation with AMD. So I'm not saying that FSR4 is PSSR and vice versa, but I mean, that's the way it works, right? Now, let's focus on FSR4. It's going to be available on these handhelds, new handhelds. It's going to be available on next generation AMD hardware. Question is it going to be available on previous AMD hardware? I mean, the hardware that has been already released. So I'm talking about a 5000 series, 6000, 7000 series. Is that going to be available for these cards? Is it going to be available for Xbox RDNA 2 based GPU, basically, right? Because AMD's, Xbox Series S and X do offer machine learning calculations and acceleration. So why not, right? I mean, yes, it doesn't, consoles don't come with NPUs, so dedicated chip for that, but still, there's acceleration for these calculations. So it would make sense, I would imagine. But like I said, it's still pure speculation. But, knowing AMD and their previous work, they have been always very clear that they want their technology to be available on as many, GPUs as possible, because, the more GPUs use it and can utilize it, well, the better adoption, of course, right? And we've seen that with FSR, right? I mean, you can use FSR on AMD cards starting from 5000 series, but also you can use it on Intel cards, you can use it on NVIDIA cards, no problem there. It's open source, right? So I would imagine that this particular technology is going to make its way to lower end GPUs, or should I say previous generation AMD's GPUs, like 5000, 6000 series, especially 6000, because 5000, correct me if I'm wrong, 5000 is RDNA 1, and it doesn't come with any AI acceleration, machine learning acceleration. So who knows? Maybe 5000 is out of the question, but rest of it, it comes with that machine learning acceleration, so that shouldn't be a problem, right? But like I said, we'll see how that goes. Sorry about that. I pressed the wrong button. So I would imagine that not necessarily day one, and let's talk about when that technology is coming out. AMD did say that they've been working on that technology for like 9-12 months now. So new AMD cards are being planned for like January, February, I think, like that. I mean, unless something changes. So it's like still, 3 months to go at least until that release. And I would imagine that it's obviously going to be first on PC. And we've seen in the past that these new technologies doesn't always come with a new GPUs per se, so not necessarily day one. I think that some of these FSR versions were a little bit delayed. But generally speaking, I would imagine that FSR4 is going to be available at launch for the new AMD's graphics card, or shortly after. And as always with these kind of technologies, we're going to see like few titles at best first, right? And then once it's fully tested and that kind of stuff, more developers will join it and use it. And I would not be surprised if it will come to Xbox too. PlayStation possibly. At the end of the day, a PlayStation 5 is machine learning capable too. It's just not as efficient as Xbox Series X. PlayStation 5 Pro doesn't need it because it's going to be using PSSR. Although, listen, I would not be surprised if some developers basically decides to use FSR4 instead of PSSR, if they will implement it on other consoles or other systems anyway, right? So I'm just saying, right? We've seen that with PlayStation and other consoles too. I remember when PlayStation 4 Pro and then later PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles were using this checkerboard rendering first, right? That was very popular back then, but that was before AMD offered FSR. And FSR1 didn't actually make much sense because it wasn't really good enough, but FSR2 actually made quite a bit of difference, and more and more developers started using that particular technology, and they just dropped support for checkerboard rendering, or however they used to call it, right? So right now, you know, developers are just using AMD's technology on these consoles because it's just easy to implement, right? For the most part, I'm not saying that every single developer does it, right? Do that. But anyway, listen, at the end of the day, right now it's all speculation. All we know is just this new technology is coming. It's good to hear that AMD is finally working on AI-based image reconstruction, because it makes a huge difference, and you know, I'm very curious to see that in works. I would imagine that it's going to be similar, at least at its, you know, base, to what PlayStation offers, because like I said, I do believe that what Sony created has been created with AMD's cooperation, right? I would imagine. I mean, they do deliver hardware, right? So they had to work together on that anyway. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, guys. So listen, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. As soon as I get more information on this particular technology, I'll let you know, especially that this particular version may actually change things around for consoles, I mean current gen consoles, when it comes to image quality, because let's face it, FSR, even 3.1 right now is not perfect, and yeah, it's AI-based image reconstruction is just much better. So guys, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section below what you think about it, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.